Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Teachers accuse a local school district of pushing in-person learning too hard and failing to provide a viable alternative. And now parents are speaking out too.
It's been no secret that Ford is looking to scale back its white-collar workforce. Now we know exactly how they plan to do it.
And one of the doctors thrust into the national spotlight by COVID-19 is offering praise for how our city and state have responded to the pandemic. And we start things off here at 6 o'clock with the latest on the coronavirus.
Interesting bit of news just in from the Centers for Disease Control. According to documents posted by the New York Times, the CDC has told public health officials around the country to prepare to distribute a potential coronavirus vaccine as soon as late October. Now, the documents do not suggest there will be a vaccine by then and deal only with the preparedness at the state and city levels.
Meanwhile, here in Michigan today, the state is reporting 524 new cases, and sadly, we have lost another 14 people to the virus. Governor Whitmer held a briefing today and confirmed a decision is coming soon regarding gyms and team sports.
The decisions that I will make in the coming days and announce are made in a way that will be protecting athletes and families and coaches and parents and patrons. Our small business owners as well. So people's lives are at stake. COVID is still a very real threat all across our state. I will continue to treat it like that. And so for now, I want everyone to know that I will have more to say on this topic very soon.
Part of the governor's day was spent with an expert who's become very familiar to Americans this year. We're talking about Dr. Deborah Burks.
Burks is the coordinator, of course, of the White House Coronavirus Task Force and had a lot to say about what Metro Detroit has been through and what she hopes is going to happen next. Larry Spruill live now with more on what Dr. Burks had to say. Larry.
Well, Devin and Kimberly, she said Michigan did a very good job this summer during the crisis, and the numbers are proving that. But she has one more tough request for us for this upcoming Labor Day weekend, and that's to keep the numbers down. Wednesday, White House Coronavirus Task Force Coordinator Dr. Deborah Burks made a stop in Michigan after leaving Chicago. She wanted to relay this message.
Tell the people of Michigan, thank you for following the guidelines and the mandate and keeping your cases down.
Burks met with Governor Gretchen Whitmer discussing how the coronavirus swept across our country and the state this summer. Burks says overall the numbers are down here in Michigan, but we're not out of the woods just yet.
We do see few cases and increases in Macomb and Monroe and Saginaw and across southern Wisconsin.
And she's hoping things won't get out of hand with Labor Day weekend just days away. She even issued us this challenge.
We're going into Labor Day. Please wear your mask. When I say socially distance, it means at all times, including with family members that you may not have seen for a few weeks. We are seeing that crowded neighborhood events, including backyard barbecues, are currently one of the primary spreaders of virus. And what we've now learned is you cannot tell if a person has COVID, and frankly, that person themselves may be so asymptomatic or so mild of a case that they don't know they have it. So let's, over this Labor Day weekend, really protect one another, be safe like you have been through this summer.
And she also requested that colleges and universities need to have a coronavirus safety plan in place for the students. Meanwhile, Governor Whitmer also asked her for a national mask mandate. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Okay, all right, Larry.
Well, as various school districts begin the slow roll into the new school year, one local district is getting heavy criticism from its teachers union. They're accusing L'Anse Creuse schools of using arm-twisting tactics to push an in-person learning agenda, even going so far as to say that the school board is giving short shrift to virtual learners. Paula Tutman has more on that complaint and the response from parents.
The L'Anse Creuse Teachers Union is at odds with its board, basically because it is said that if teachers can't find a comfort level with in-person teaching, they can leave, basically taking a leave of absence. And they are defending that decision.
When you have 70% of your community that wants to go back face to face, I think it would be disingenuous of us to not give them that option. And when I have 578 teachers as a whole, and I only have a couple who are experiencing this discomfort, it's more so looking at what would be better as a whole to service our community, to service our students.
For parents like Rihanna, whose children did not do well with remote learning, she is grateful for the in-person option in the Land Cruise District.
My oldest son admits that he just doesn't learn the same, as well as I could not keep him awake. I would literally walk away from the table and I'd come back and he's falling asleep. And at one point, he took the whole computer to his bed and laid down with it. And I was like, you thought that was a good idea?
But for parents like Jenna, whose husband survived COVID-19, in-person learning is not an option.
We can't guarantee what other precautions other families are taking, and I felt safer knowing what exactly she's exposed to with her staying home.
The district has a heavy emphasis on face-to-face learning, and according to teachers and the teachers union, didn't even start considering a remote or virtual option until August 1st. Too late to do a district program. And so Lance Cruz is using a system called Edmentum.
We're not teaching face-to-face in the virtual program. We are not having them attend class. They're going to be going in, logging into the program. There's tutorials, videos, assignments, assessments. At the end of our day, we have 45 minutes that's designated to help those virtual kids.
We restructured part of our teacher's day without extending it to allow daily contact between the Lance Cruise teachers and the virtual learners.
Parents and some teachers alike are concerned that the virtual option is an aside or placeholder instead of an actual attempt to really teach students.
It's not teaching. I don't think the virtual option is much of an option at all because it's a pre-canned curriculum that's not being taught by a teacher.
Here, we're just going to preload all your assignments and we'll check in with you once a week.
Something the school board vehemently denies. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Okay, Paula, meanwhile, the Roseville School District today confirmed it plans to start the school year with virtual instruction only. It's a decision applauded by the Roseville Federation of Teachers. The district says students who signed up for in-person learning will return to school October 12th.
Ford Motor Company announcing white-collar job cuts as the next step in a big restructuring plan. Ford is aiming to hit 10% operating profit, a number it hasn't seen in years. And to that end, Ford is going to cut some 1,400 salary position workers who are eligible to retire this year. So the cuts will take place through what Ford is calling a voluntary incentive program. Ford will start accepting retirement requests sometime next week, but the deadline now set for October 23rd to do that. Now, if too few workers take the early exit packages, Ford says it will have to move to involuntary separations.
Michigan is a battleground state for the presidential election, which is making it a popular place for candidates and their representatives. Today, President Trump sent his daughter and advisor, Ivanka Trump, to Warren for a tour of the General Motors Tech Center. Local 4 business editor Rod Maloney has the story.
Over the past couple of years, the GM-Trump administration relationship has had its ups and downs. The president tweeting a lot when GM wasn't doing what he liked. But as things stand right now, it looks like the relationship's going well because the president's daughter came to visit to talk about manufacturing. GM CEO Mary Barra joined Deputy Commerce Secretary Karen Dunn Kelly with Ivanka Trump at the new GM Technical Learning University, where GM employees from skilled trades to salaried manufacturing engineers keep their skills current. GM CEO Mary Barra talked about why this program is necessary.
We've already had about 300 of our electricians come in and update because, as we all know, technology is changing so quickly. We've invested in creating a new facility, and we're in the process of creating another facility. We're going to be investing about $10 million, and we plan to have over 3,600 of our employees get upskilled in the company.
So for more than an hour, Ivanka Trump interacted with GM employees working in a number of disciplines, including the electrical apprentice classroom and another apprentice robotics lab, where the operator demonstrated the intricate tasks robots are capable of doing and how to control them. Impressed, the presidential advisor said all this falls in line with programs she and the administration have championed.
This is a nice continuation of what we've been doing in this space, focusing on investing in the most important resource of this country, which is our amazing people, whether they be students or workers.
Now, Ivanka Trump came to Detroit a couple of years ago, and spoke with Mary Barra then, and GM was one of the first companies to sign on to the president's pledge for the American worker. And Ivanka Trump said today that this program fits precisely into what they're trying to make happen. Reporting live, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Okay, Rod, thanks.
A surprising trend at the U.S.-Canada border where only essential travel is allowed right now. Since COVID travel restrictions began back on March 21st, border agents at Michigan ports of entry have seized more weapons than they did in all of 2019. That includes pistols, revolvers, rifles, and shotguns. Defender Sean Lay has more on why this must be happening at a time when traffic is so down. Sean?
We are talking about so many guns seized at the border. We are told many of them are illegal. So with restricted travel at our borders, we're asking tonight, how could this be happening? Take a look in this dramatic video put out today by U.S. Customs and Border Protection's Detroit field office. You can see AR-15s, 2-bolt action hunting rifles, a Taurus revolver, and just about every type of semi-automatic handgun on the market today. All of these weapons you see on your screen seized at all Michigan ports of entry. Detroit Metro Airport, the Ambassador Bridge, the Detroit Windsor Tunnel, the Blue Water Bridge in Port Huron, even the International Bridge in Sault Ste. Marie. 81 firearms seized, 4,000 rounds of ammunition taken, and the timing is staggering. Those weapons were taken from people trying to cross the border from March 21st to August 21st. In all of 2019, only 62 firearms were seized. Keep in mind, there has been restricted travel at the border due to COVID-19 this entire time. We were there as the Detroit Windsor Tunnel was shutting down to all non-essential travel.
At this point, I'm still deemed essential, so here I am.
Tonight, we're asking Customs and Border Protection why this is happening. They tell us many of the guns are coming from passengers attempting to enter the U.S. Many denied entry into Canada, turned around, and found at our border with illegal weapons. Big picture here, Customs and Border Protection urging anyone who wants to cross the border with their legal firearms, they have to fill out a form with the State Department well before they try to make that crossing. Sean Lay, Local 4.
Okay, Sean. The Labor Day weekend forecast just keeps improving.
It does, Kim and Devin. In fact, you can see the numbers look pretty good, but there are some rain chances there, and the timing of those have changed. We'll run that down for you coming up.
It looks like a harmless text message sent right to your smartphone, but it's actually sent from high-tech thieves looking to rip you off. I'll show you what you need to look out for and how to protect your personal information in a Help Me Hank scam alert.